Hello and welcome to the Old Man Orange Podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm Ryan Dunnigan.
We got even more Batman to be thrown around here with Batman The Three Jokers Part 2. I love how they just used the same cover twice in a row. That looked really confusing when I went to go buy it. Like, I was really afraid I was buying the same book over again.
Is it the same cover? I thought it was the first cover was the what they call the clown Joker holding the bloody crowbar, and this one is the crime lord Joker where he's always sitting there contemplating or whatever.
I don't know. I could have swore on my list that they were both like the contemplating Joker picture.
Maybe they were. Yeah. Maybe.
Oh yeah. I guess you're right. Maybe they changed it almost.
It's a dude in purple with green hair. Eventually it's gonna look kind of like.
It's literally like they had the exact same Joker bottle and just be like, just change your, okay, you got a crowbar up now put your fingers up. Okay, cool. Draw the picture like that. Good, done.
I mean, concept aside, I assume that is the same person. Concept of the book aside, I just assume, like, this is him on a good day. This is him when, like, you know, his steak is late at whatever restaurant he's eating at, you know?
Yeah, this is him thinking about that steak and what he's going to do to the waiter when he comes back. When waiter boy comes back and, you know, he's going to throw him a curveball because he realizes that the waiter, it's his first day at the job, and he's going to ask for a Coke when they only have Pepsi there.
He finds all the little things like that funny. You know? He's a real twisted fuck, that Joker. This book, we'll just jump ahead. So for folks who don't really know, if you're listening to this one, we did cover the first issue, but for those who don't know and you're just tuning in for this is basically, they came up with this concept years ago about Joker. The reason why he's changed so much in different personality over the years is he's three different guys that swap in places, and Batman never picked up on it. Now, when I first heard it, I'm like, that sounds like a goofy-ass concept, but, you know, goofier things have been made, so we'll see what the story happens. And then it just took forever for the book to finally come out, and then now it's finally happening, and issue 1 came out, here's issue 2, and we covered issue 1, and issue 1 was one of those books that totally blew me away, but I did enjoy it. And then issue 2 happens, and I'll just give a heads up, like, this one is one, they're like, oh, wow, no, this issue 2 is really good. Issue 1 was good, and I liked it. Issue 2, though, I am sincerely curious where this goes.
Yeah, same here. I was like one of those ones where it's like, oh, man, this is fucking getting exciting. It's got some interesting choices, what they have going on. You know, I hope they don't just kind of flub it when it gets to number 3, like kind of like how Batman Last Night on Earth was, because I was like, oh, it's going good, and then it got kind of goofy there at that last point. And you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah, I hope they don't do that too. I mean, the concept alone is goofy, and I think whatever ends up happening, even if they say this is canon, there's going to be some weird, I said this before, but there's probably going to be some weird cosmic event or whatever that just makes it one Joker, because that becomes too hard to kind of go back and work around in other stories. And plus there's always something like, I mean, you know, when like Superman from another universe came in and new Superman from New 52 died, Mr. Mixelplex, or whatever the fuck his name is, did some weird like cosmic shit and made it so they were the same person, and everything just kind of clicked into place. Don't worry about it. So it's like, you know, I think they're going to do so, even if this is official, I think they're going to do something like that. Maybe not like next month, maybe by the end of the year, you know?
Yeah, I kind of go along with it. Well, if for some reason you don't remember what that first book was, or you never read it, or never cared to, it was just, there was the 3 Jokers, and in that last one, the big kind of thing is that Jason Todd ended up fucking like being like, it's a Joker, fuck him, we're gonna kill him, and Batgirl's just stand back like, no, Jason, don't. He's like, fuck you, Barb, I mean, I know you got shot, but you know, like, he beat me for crowbar, and then I was left in a grave until someone found me and threw me in the Lazarus pit, and, at least you have a family.
Only killing makes me feel better.
Yeah, I like one of those kind of moments, and then I like how even this one, I know there's like the Joker part in the beginning, but like when Batman and Barb's like, she's like, yo, Jason just killed someone back there. Like, it's Jason, I wasn't there to raise him as a son.
I wasn't as good a dad, I'll say it, I wasn't as good a dad to him as I was to you and Dick, but, you know.
You know, it was the 80s, it was a different time, you know, I wish I was a better father, but, you know, it's that thing where, like, you're good at the first one, and then you're just like, well, I don't know, are you
you're
the
overconfident
second one,
with the
sort of?
second.
I mean, it's kind of weird now, we got this weird, like, love triangle thing going on, but it's kind of weird because Alfred used to think that we adopted, and it's just like, it's just Batman sitting there driving, but whatever. As I said, the second one sometimes the second boy at least, because it's a man, that's why it counts for a little bit more. Not saying anything about being a girl, but man's in the family, I thought he might have, taken over the family legacy, Jason, would have went from the streets to running Wayne Enterprises. You don't fucking know. And then he died, and I was heartbroken for like 8 months, and then I found another boy, and everything was good again.
It's like basically you're sad for like 2 days after your dog dies, and then you go get another dog, and you're like, what was his name again? Scruffy? Ruffles? I don't remember.
I can't remember what. But I'm just gonna call this one Robin.
I don't even change their name.
So you always forget what their name is after they die.
You mean Dick or Jason?
I'm still
I
here.
get them mixed up. I honestly don't remember which
name.
one is which. I just call him by... you just Robin to me.
When you change your name, isn't that confusing, shit. Be on the phone and be like, oh yeah, there's 2 Robins now. Oh, now there's 3. Oh, now there's 4. Now there's a girl that's Robin. Oh, now there's a little boy that wants to be Robin who's, well,
girl Robin died.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that was very short-lived. Shit. She lasted less than fucking Jason did.
Black Mask? Oh, fuck. He did her in? No, that's fucked up.
Oh, shit. Goes to show how long it took him to get a movie.
Well, I like how... Well, we'll go back to the first scene in a second, but I do like how Batman's like, yeah, I wasn't there for Jason like I should have been, so, I should have saw this coming. Maybe we shouldn't have brought him on this case in the first place. Anyway, it's done is done.
Rolls the window up. I love it's just that scene where, like, Batman just literally, like, conversation done, rolls the window up, and then you can just see, like, Batgirl's face just like, you just fucking rolled the window up on me?
Bat Dad's in charge. Bat Dad says conversation's over. We're good. Bye. Yeah. See you at the crime scene. Yeah. I like how in this first scene, though, you see what they call, I guess, the comedian Joker, and I guess this is meant to be the idea of the Joker from Killing Joke, walking in, and if my memory serves me correct, I think that's supposed to be the wife from the Killing Joke, his wife or his fiance who died, because she was pregnant with a kid. And I like how tense and off-putting this whole scene is, because he comes home and he's all happy, and you can see she is like scared, just trembling, and it's like what she's serving them also makes it more unsettling. They're serving them what looks like raw tentacles, like octopus tentacles, with like mashed potatoes or grits or something.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's like, oh, this is just all he brings us home, essentially, or something to that effect. Kind of gives that kind of vibe. And then from there, she goes upstairs, and she's like, sweetie, your dad's home. Like, fuck, Dad, I don't like him. Like, don't fuck this up. We're going to get it out of here eventually, but you got to get the fuck down here, because he's going to fucking kill us, And then from there...
It's just like, I don't love Father. Father scares me. I love how he's just dressed in, like, 1920s clothes.
Just like, sorry, this is like he works in theater, so all he brings back is just unused uniforms.
Yeah, that they were just gonna throw out anyways. They just like, shit, we found this like lockbox downstairs. You want any of these, Mr. J?
Well, I feel like this is gonna come back around in some way, because then after having dinner, that's when it cuts to reality, and you see he's just sitting in this dilapidated, dank-ass apartment eating like cat food out of the can with a mannequin and a teddy bear, and the crime lord Joker's walking in like, are you just playing like tea time with this mannequin and this fucking teddy bear?
Yeah, I know. And that guy's like, well, by the way, okay, the other Joker's fucking dead.
Well, I even like, because when you realize this is all in his head, he's fantasizing about his family being scared of him.
Yeah, I know, like, just everybody's in complete fear and so on. He just revels in this enjoyment.
I think it's almost kind of like, of all the Jokers, maybe he's considered to be... this is just me piecing it together now, actually. Because the comedian Joker, which is the one off of, like, Killing Joke, is essentially somewhat of the failed Joker. So, because he's the one who basically got there because he fucked up. Because he sucked as a comedian, and he was also a shitty criminal, and then he fell into the vat of acid. So I think this might be some kind of, by this point, like, he's fantasizing about a power trip. Because then once criminal Joker walks in the room, he suddenly gets quiet and more shy. it's kind of like, boy, are you playing dolls again?
Yeah, I thought we had this conversation last week.
Yeah, so I almost think might be, even though he is deadly and he's probably one of the most feared people in Gotham, among the other Jokers at this point, he just might be the fuck up. He might be the shitheel of the group. But I guess we'll find out. Because as this conversation goes on, he says, like, yeah, your plan to reveal the Batman, there's actually 3 of us, you just got one of us killed. It's your fucking plan. And then we just cut over to, like, yep, he is dead.
Yeah, just like, yep, the other one's dead and so on. So, yeah, just fucking brains coming out, flies going in. I love how it's just literally a full page of just death.
Well, it's weird because it's like this one shot, and then that shot goes to 2, then it goes to 4, then it goes to covering the whole page. You see it's a fly, like, on his eye, basically. And then it just continues. More flies start to gather around him. So, and then we just go on to Jim Gordon at a crime scene. Batman already beat him to it, and this guy got mauled to death with these dogs that got Jokerized.
Yeah, I like how Batman's like, Jim's like, hey, what'd you do about those dogs? He's like, well, I just put my finger up their butthole just like I heard on the Kevin Smith show, and lo and behold, it works.
When you do that, they become your own, like, meat. They become your, like, finger puppets of death.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep these. And no, I'm not taking them off my fingers either. He's just walking around with like fucking 10 Rottweilers on his fingers.
See these fingers? That's all them video games. It's strength.
You
should see me on Guilty Gear X2.
Yeah, this would be scarier than Salad Fingers. You remember that Newgrounds cartoon? No, you don't? Oh, okay, Jim. Well,
I had to be there for it.
I had some free time in 2004.
I still didn't find it that funny.
I was more confused than anything else.
That was like Salad Fingers. That had to be some fucked up Hot Topic kid going, I really like Nightmare Before Christmas, but I think it should be rated R. I could see that being the guy who made that. I don't know. Maybe he's a well-renowned artist or animator by this point, but I could totally see him starting off like that.
Oh yeah, well, because that was that one. There was a moment where that was top 5 like Newgrounds videos, like when Newgrounds was like probably in like the heyday of all heydays as far as like the animation part went.
Yeah. I remember watching it like, oh, that was fucking different, you know. He's like, my nipples, or whatever that was.
Well, that was just that one that was just supposed to be just as bizarre as possible. It was meant to frighten people's parents, really, at the end of the day. That's what that cartoon reminded me of. It's the one that, like, Billy, what are you watching? It's Salad Fingers. Dad, you wouldn't understand. No, Billy. No, I don't understand.
And I don't want to.
We're getting rid of this internet now. It looks like it's the devil's work. Just like I was told at the Bible school earlier.
If that Nightmare Before Christmas and Marilyn Manson poster are on your walls by tomorrow, your shit is on the front lawn.
Yeah, and you're out of here. I'm gonna go down to the pound to get myself a new son.
It's 2002. Store slams.
But next we get to like the Batgirl and Batman conversation that we were talking about kind of earlier. Where I just love the part where Batman rolls the fucking window up.
He says, like, yeah, I'm done talking. I got shit to do.
And then it sort of starts cutting back and forth between like the Batgirl Batman conversation. Then Red Hood's just out like, you know, beating people up, looking for like, where the fuck's these other Jokers at?
Beating up crackheads and pool cleaners.
Yeah, that's what one guy's like, I clean fucking pools. He's like, I know, I could smell it on you.
Or you like have like, I'll say this because this is written by Jeff Johns, and Jeff Johns is proven to be a good writer for DC Comics. But when I think Jeff Johns, I usually think, even though he's done big characters, I always think Green Lantern. I think The Flash.
Aquaman.
I think Teen Titans, Aquaman. Yeah, and Justice League every here and there, but I don't really think Batman immediately. I know he's written Batman, and I know he did that Batman Earth 1 book, which was kind of like an alternate, more trying to be a more serious, almost kind of like a movie serious Batman. Like, I mean, like not serious, but I mean like more realistic, I guess.
It was in like the Batman or the Dark Knight kind of style. I will say that is the book though that kind of gives us the 007 like Alfred.
Yeah, well, it's also it's a book that really depowers Batman. It also it's kind of leaning hard into like Dark Knight, and it's not a bad thing. It's still a good book. It was different. It felt like kind of like a Christopher Nolan movie we never got, sort of.
Yeah.
But, that being said, though, I never really think of him as a Batman writer, because that's even a very different Batman. Because that Batman in Batman Earth 1, he's like arrogant. He's good at crime fighting, but he's not the best detective. He still has a lot to learn. This right here, I feel like he definitely, I mean, I always knew he probably could write a good Batman, but this right here, it's like, I wish he'd write more Batmans. Because this story right here, he kind of sums them up well, and it has that right balance of, like, you know, the Batman with grit from the comics, and that very Kevin Conroy, animated series Batman. And, because the thing is, I don't know why I keep wanting to say Adam West, animated series Batman.
They start with A's. They start with A's!
I get them confused. No, because animated series Batman, even though he was kind of a dick, when he wanted to be compassionate, understanding, he very much was. And when comic book Batman, he might have that here and there, depending on who the writer is, but most of the time, he's, like, very much a dick to, like, and he very rarely shows any emotion. He'll, like, show a little dab of it. But since the cartoon one has to show a little bit more of that, I guess. But this right there, he does it in a very Batman way, which he says, like, look, here's the thing. I wasn't there for Jason. I should have been there for Jason. I hate myself for that. And he's like, well, we shouldn't have done this. We shouldn't have done that. And he's like, well, you got shot and you were covered, but that's because you're stronger, and I wish I made him stronger. So there's certain things about that where he comes around, because I feel like in a different writer, a lot of times if Jason just shot a Joker in the head, he would just basically break every bone in his body, which doesn't seem out of character. But then this Batman's a little bit more compassionate and almost kind of like understanding, but still like that shit can't go down. And that's just, it still seems in character, but it seems different. Sorry, I feel like I hogged all that.
It's just like that thing was just like, I love my boy. It's just like, even if he does wrong, he's still my boy.
Give me a hug, boy. Well,
give me a hug, Jason. I'll make it right. Daddy's here.
Dad.
Papa Bear's in the room. Don't you worry.
It's okay. While you heal, I'll put on the Bernstein Bears for you.
That was your favorite, right? It never was. Oh, it was popular when I guess you were 12, so.
Shit, I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was wholesome entertainment. It's better than the other 80s crap they were playing on TV at that time period.
I really wish the grandpa stayed in the show more. He'd only pop in once in a while. I like the grandpa character. They really did him wrong. Anyway, yeah, like, you want to start on VHS 1 or VHS 2 or VHS 2? 1. I can't talk right now.
Or we'll just juggle them and just see which one. We'll have a real random, like, what we gonna watch? Oh, shit, I threw the VHS out the window. Oh, God fucking damn it. Alfred!
I forgot our own lore that he doesn't say, like, for some reason on video formats, he doesn't spell it out. He just says that. I forgot our own lore for Drunk Batman for a second.
That's okay, but, so...
I fucked it up!
You fucked it up. He fucked it up again, man. But, can't remember what they're doing, like, but as Batman and Batgirl kind of take on off and whatnot, they go to look for, like, I guess, they don't go to Arkham, they go to Blackgate, and they start looking for people.
Look for Joe Chill,
yeah. Yeah, they're looking for Joe Chill, because somebody brings up, they're like, oh shit, Joe Chill's brought around, which really, it came back around to, I thought, in the last podcast we did, we're like, why the fuck are they showing Batman's parents getting shot for the 15,000th time? It's like, oh, they found a way to be like, hold on, stop throwing that fucking judgmental hate, we got a story going here, it's gonna come back around.
We knew it was gonna get there, but it's like one of those things, like, it's like, his fingerprints came up at the crime scene they were just at somehow.
Yeah.
So, and I like when he's walking down Blackgate. I just talked about how, like, Rupert Thorne was a random character in the comics. They never really used him, and then more of his heyday was the animated series. Then he walks by Rupert Thorne's cell. We don't see him, but we see his cell right there. And then, like, he walks by Dr. Phosphorus, too. So it's like these really random-ass villains.
Well, Thorne, I don't even know what happens. Like, he walks by it, and then Thorne's, like, holding on, and then, like, all of a sudden, he, like, lets go. He's like, oh, shit!
I think he's just scared. I think because they show right here is he's walking down there.
And everybody's at first just like, yeah, I fucking hold on to these bars all day long. And it's like, oh, shit, Batman's here. He doesn't like it when we touch the bars.
But then when he gets to Joe Chill, this is another thing where Johns does to kind of humanize him a little bit more. He goes in there, and he, at his core, is still, like, kind of afraid of Joe Chill.
Yeah, he, like, stumbles his words.
which you never see
Joe
that.
Chill. He's Batman.
And then he kicks down the fence, and then Joe Chill's not in there. He's just like, you know who I am. You know, it took him like a minute, which he never does that. So that right there, I thought was okay, that was a good little moment, you know. And then
I just gotta say,
he has like this.
I mean, I know it's Batman and all, but like literally, like once again, like if Batman's able just to kick down the fucking jail cell door, like I think someone needs to come in there and modify these a little bit.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
You shouldn't be able to just do one fucking side Bruce Lee kick and just. Or I feel like half those guys in there should be able to get out. I mean, shit, they got superpowers for some of them. Rupert Thorne's just like, I'm just too old. This is the down. I should have done all the workouts and so on, you know. I even signed up for Jeet Kune Do back in the day, but then I thought it was a lot of high kicks, and I just thought the Italian store down the street was just a much better place for me to train at. You know, I hire people. Now sitting here in prison going, that was pretty fucking stupid.
Well, it's just like me and believe it or not, I actually went to the gym with Kingpin for the first like 2 weeks. But I can't keep up with him, but Shoza looked out for him. I guess that's the thing. Rupert Thorne is like the Kingpin who can't fight.
Yeah, he's like the Kingpin who just hires.
Okay, so you guys made like kind of a Kingpin ripoff. All right, that's kind of interesting. What's his thing? Well, he's a mob boss. What else? He can't fight like the Kingpin, but he looks kind of like the Kingpin.
Yeah, he's kind of like, shit. You know, people might get confused. Maybe they'll think we made him before Kingpin. You never know.
That could happen.
They're pulling up the encyclopedia. Oh, well, fuck those kids.
This is before they banked on the internet. You know, that's where you see something like Atomic Skull from like Superman, and then you realize, oh, that's not Ghost Rider.
Yeah, and that's like, and it almost even derives from Red Skull, and it just keeps going down that path of like, if we just add a little bit to him, he'll be practically a different character.
That where it's like one thing for him to have like a flaming skull of some sort, but it's another for him to ride a motorcycle, which he did a few times. So it's like you guys are playing a little too close there, but all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, he kicks down this whole, like you said, he just easily knocks down this maximum security prison door. Maybe it's just really strong from the outside or from the inside, maybe something like that, just in case Batman needs to kick it down.
Yeah. But
anyway, they find out that he has stage 4 cancer, and he's over at a cancer ward. But I was gonna say this real quick. I thought this right here would have been kind of an interesting thing, like, because we see it's Barbara is there, like, where is he? He's sick, and I almost think that would have been a moment for him to turn around, and then one of the criminals. This is a very dumb thing. Most people would be like, "Well, what's the point of that?" But I think it would have been a good moment for him to turn around and like, where is he? And then one of the criminals in the cells tells him where he's at, just to kind of. And it's like a criminal, whether it's like a criminal we know very well or a criminal we don't really know that well. It's one of those things like, by this point, like, yeah, he's gonna catch me again. He's already here. Oh yeah, then if I tell him, he'll fucking leave. You know what I mean? Like, I think that would have been a good moment to throw in a character like Harvey Dent. Like, he's been fighting and doing this war and crime for so long. It's almost kind of like seeing these guys on Tuesday. I'll see you on Tuesday, next time he fucking, like, fights them,
Yeah, exactly. I think that would have been kind of... I mean, I guess they probably want to keep it in sort of their character limit they have going on for this story. But it would have been that one where, like, you almost would have, like, Harvey Dent sitting there and the light would be, like, halfway across his face and so on, sitting on the bunk, like... He's not looking at Batman, but he knows like what's going on. And then,
like, I think those are the moments that say so much more about the characters than like them giving so much exposition.
Yeah, just sitting there and being like, "Hey, he's got cancer," Even you could be kind of a very blunt answer too, and Batman could even have like a shock, like, "What?" You're like, "Fuck his family," just starts pulling him down. Like, he doesn't get to have this. He doesn't get to have this picture of a Mustang on the wall. Like, fuck him. He doesn't get the fastback. And if he has one of these in his garage somewhere, I'm going to go destroy it.
Well, I do like it shows he's been there for like a long time, because you do see he has a desk with some books and a shelf. So it's those kids. Oh yeah, he has been there for a while, and so much so there's a family outside in the outside world right there.
He doesn't deserve a family.
If Batman was Batman, he'd go kill his family. But he's Batman, so he can't.
Well, maybe I'll get Jason to do it. I mean, like, I know that'd be bad fathering, but Jason He kills people all the time. I mean, I don't say anything about it. It's just, it's what he's into, Like, I always say, let a kid be what they want to be, and if Jason wants to kill, well, I just say, that's his thing.
As long as it's bad people, or bad people's families.
Yeah, or people that I fucking hate. Like that kid that fucking spits on my fucking pizza at Domino's.
He just walks by, like, he just has like a folder that says, like written in crayon or something, like, Batman's want to kill list. Like, hey, Robin, what's going on? Whoops, I dropped that. Just like... drops like this murder wish list right in front of Red Hood.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, you saw the list, right? Let me grab that. Just grabs it, slowly pulls it away, like.
just
I hope you're not memorizing it right now. That would be bad. Anyway, these are people I want to kill, but I can't. If only there was someone that could.
Well, as that's going on, Jason goes out and he's busting into like this pool area. Which sounds like the weirdest thing. Like, where's Jason going? He's going to the bathhouse.
Public pool. He's going to the public pool. That's where he's going.
And if there's one thing that I learned from South Park, it's just when Butter's dad goes to the bathhouse.
Oh, yeah. Everyone knows that's Butters.
That's me. I also like when he breaks the fucking chain link fence, it falls down to a smiley face.
Makes a smile.
Yeah, just those small things like that. And then Jason goes into the public bathhouse, and then there's just all these naked dudes in there, which is just, if you said that about explaining what happens next, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, well, yeah, that's what I expected him. He went to a public bathhouse. That's just what it is. Bunch of Roman guys in there sucking dick.
I'm not gonna lie. The audio went out, and as soon as it came back on, just a bunch of Roman guys sucking dick. It's all I heard.
With a bathhouse in ancient Greece and what have you, and Rome and shit. You remember how that all kind of... You're
doing some Olympic-style wrestling.
Yeah, just like how, gymnastics means to work out naked, which means, to grab your buddy from behind naked and throw him down and laugh and slap your balls across his face. It's okay. You're a Roman. It's fine.
Other than maybe an old-timey art museum, do they still have, like, any pictures of just, like, old Roman dudes fucking wrestling each other buck-ass naked with, like, a ball sack hanging in one of their faces or some shit?
I really think in the Olympics they should bring it back in that style. I think that's how it should be. Just fucking...
Just the Sistine Chapel mural of it? At stadium.
And I think that should be, like, the main summer event. Like, put that on fucking prime time. No fucking editing, just pure classic fucking gymnastics wrestling. I think that's how it should be. You know what? Fuck, everybody should be naked. So they don't feel too awkward about their fucking naked wrestling. Everybody should just be naked. Just be like, it's old school. We're going old school. You wear sandals, of course, but...
WWE, like Hulk Hogan's out there. Brit the Hitman Hart.
We'll go for both those guys.
The snake has new meaning now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But Jason busts in here, and there's the bathhouse, and of course a bunch of Joker gas has been released, so all these poor naked guys who were just going for a little bit of fun are now all fucking Jokerified and left in there. And I like how even Jason, when he goes to test it before, like, he like pulls out this like kit for like testing the pH level of a pool. Like, you never know what's gonna come in handy.
He had to change the pools back when he lived at Wayne Manor. That was his job, and he never let that habit go.
Maybe that's like when there is the dude that was like, oh, I clean pools for a living. And I mean, I know that's how he got his information.
Do you?
But maybe he's like, give me a pH tester.
What's the percentage? What's the proper percent ratio for 200 gallons of water?
I just let the machine make the decisions. Oh, you fucking new kids. Sir, you're like 3, generations younger than me. Well, I fucking fell. Fuck you, I'm from the 80s. It's confusing. Fucking
from the 80s, but still somehow I'm only 25.
Yeah, like, it's like, I skipped my whole teenagehood. Some people, like Michael Jackson says he never had a childhood. I literally never had a teenagehood.
My childhood involved me punching meth heads. It was fun.
Yeah, I went from 12 to dead to 25. There's the dude that, like, reaches out of the pool, like the one lone survivor. giving that kind of like, fucking kill me. And it's almost that point where Jason, you're like, oh shit, is he gonna fucking kill him? You know, and then like as he pulls his gun out, the guy just kind of fades away and fucking goes back in the pool and what have you. And then at this point, fucking Joker comes out from behind and fucking grabs the Red Hood.
Both Jokers come out and grab him, you know.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. And then I love how it goes fucking Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Like they literally like strap fucking Jason Todd to like a chair naked, and I just remember being like a kid, like maybe at about 10 years old, somewhere around like I guess a Jason Todd age when he was still a boy. And I remember reading Casino Royale, and that was like the takeaway from that book, because this was before there was a movie other than like the weird fucking parody one and the old American TV made one, but whatever. And I just remember that was the main takeaway was like, dude, fucking 007's naked and some guy's swinging a chain into his fucking nutsack.
That is the thing, because you are like, what are they gonna... That is such like a... That sounds rough, but it sounds like something out of a Adam Sandler movie up to that point.
Well, it just seems so weird. It was just like when like it was that and then I remember like they're not gonna do that when they do the new Daniel Craig movie. Like that'll be and like oh shit they did do that. I remember being so like fucking hey yeah that I've been waiting for this since I was 10 years old.
Took me a minute to realize you were talking about the book. I thought you were talking about the movie by itself for a second. Like
oh yeah
So,
well, cause, like,
like an Adam Sandler book from the fucking 60s. Yeah.
I was wondering where the Adam Sandler reference came by. I'm like that went over my head, so I'll just keep going. So I was just talking about like the book before the Daniel Craig movie came out, because that was the thing. It was like that was the one 007 story out of those lists. That's like, well, shit, they've never really made that movie, so that was.
This must be the reason why. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
As a kid, you're piecing those things together, like, oh fuck, he gets like fucking smacked in the nuts. And here, I was wondering if that was gonna actually happen in this fucking Three Jokers, because I'm like, he's tied there naked. Are they gonna go for like a 007 Casino Royale thing?
Well, visually, some of the stuff. I do think it's interesting because they are... this is where criminal Joker comes in. And it's interesting to me that they're going with... I know there's different versions of this Joker, but ultimately, the look they're going with, it's like the first issue of Batman. Where, yeah, he had a couple jokes and he smiled and laughed, but he was generally... There's like... It's even kind of like what Heath Ledger was kind of inspired by, like that. There's that picture of him sitting like there in the back of the car, looking very like poised, like he's thinking, like he is on the cover of this book. Mm-hmm. Like that was like I think something out of the first issue Joker was in. So I think that they're trying to do the thing like, all right, that Joker doesn't laugh as much, and he's more the calm, collective Joker. This might even be the same Joker of like Batman Endgame. And there's a part where he starts laughing, and he's like, oh, fuck, I'm laughing. And he stops. He's like, I'll let you in on a secret. It hurts when we laugh. So if I had to guess, because this thing has been on, like, I'm not sure where the speed bump was, but this thing has been on hold for, like 2 or 3 years. So this may very well be before the Walking Phoenix movie.
Yeah. Because it
hurts him to laugh in that movie.
Yeah, that's kind of true. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see where that kind of has been, or how long this script's kind of been waiting just to be drawn, or what have you,
Yeah.
But this is kind of an interesting scene as they kind of got Jason Todd in this fucking like tortureness, and I love when they actually slap the Red Hood back on him. It gives him like a Joker smile, but it actually looks kind of cool on Red Hood's mask. It makes him look like. Speaking of Red Skull.
Yeah, it does actually.
It almost makes him look sort of like that. But I like how they're kind of telling him, like, yo, Jason, you're practically the third wheel for us. We just lost a member. We got an opening. What do you say?
Well, I like that, here's what I really like about I feel like I've been reading Batman for so long, and people want to stay true to the character while adding their own little thing, but I don't feel like a whole lot's ever really changed. I don't feel like a Batman author ever teaches me anything new about Batman or any of his characters that I don't already know. Most of the time, that's how I feel. This brought something to my attention, like, oh, I guess Jason is the perfect making of a Joker, because that's the thing. Because the whole time, criminal Joker is making this whole bit about like, you're no different than us. And most of the time, whenever you hear one of those speeches, like, all right, oh, you both have ambition, you both are misunderstood, whatever. But this one where he's all saying it, the reason he's listing off, it's like, oh, I actually never thought of it that way. And they brought him back in this more than just a whole revenge story.
Yeah, it's very well kind of done how they, like, he kind of gets into, like, all the little small details of, like, hey, you know what? Batman fucking, betrayed you. He left you for dead. That's sort of how we feel about Batman. These little things here. You're scarred. You go out thinking that you're doing good and so on like that, but really, you're just kind of not too much different than us.
The real reason you go out there and fight is because it makes you feel better inside, more than he's like, oh fuck, they're right. And that's where we come across, like, it wasn't clown Joker that did him in. It was possibly comedian Joker who's in the scene, because after criminal Joker is all like talking shit to him, that's where like comedian Joker comes like, right away, boss, and starts beating up on him. And that's where he says something like, you better hope I stay dead this time. He says, like, believe me, I want you to come back, and he just like whacks him. And I think it is interesting because it's like they're preparing him to be the next Joker. They want him as a Joker, but it's not as simple as like flipping the switch.
Yeah, it's like almost like they gotta, like, somewhat not necessarily just beat him in physically, but kind of beat him in mentally and kind of like fucking mess him up and fucking leave him there fucking naked with two Jokers around you. And then I love how just Batgirl fucking, once again, these fucking doors around here are just not securely shut. Just fucking big boots it in, just being like, there's fucking lightning behind her too to make it more intense. Like when she, that reminds me like one of those ones where it's like, okay, wait for the lightning strike so that like it won't make nearly as much sound.
When sorry, the sound went out again. When Batgirl kicks through the door.
Yeah, it's one of those ones like just so intense, and then they get inside, and then Batman's like, oh shit, a bunch of, just like I feared, a bunch of naked men in here. This bathhouse.
A bunch of naked Joker men. Because they're all just basically walking around like, save us, and they're all just kind of like crazy by this point. And then one of them accidentally hits the wrong button, and which brings the Batmobile through the door, which, looking at it, that didn't even have to happen because they weren't even there. They're like, one guy accidentally gets killed. It's like, oh, that's sad. We'll save him later. And comes back.
Yeah, I love how they're sort of, Batman's kind of just like, oh, let's go get a Batmobile, kill him. That's not, I know it's like I own it, but like I haven't registered under Alfred's name, so it's okay. You know what I mean? If anyone tries
Think of how many naked homeless people he has to spray off that thing when he gets home.
Yeah, also, Joker affected people, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love how that Batmobile probably kills like a bunch of them. I mean, granted, I guess you could be like, well, they're gonna die anyway, so it doesn't count. Like if they're, I mean, here's the thing: I probably just put them out of their misery by having the Batmobile just run through them all.
Like he has no problem killing like Solomon Grundy because he's already dead.
Yeah, he's like, I can let out all my frustrations on that zombie son of a bitch.
Oh, zombie. He's a character I wanted to see in something already.
I know. I feel like he always gets kind of backlisted in like the last while.
But anyway, they go back to the pool cleaning room or something, and that's where they find Naked, beaten up, and he's kind of a little like, hot water burn, baby! Hot water burn, baby! But then, like, he ends up, like, just kind of believing and nodding his head everything the Joker said. Like, you put me on this path, that's why! And just, like, loses his shit. And then faints. Like, he just did it mentally. And that's like, all right, we got to take him home for a little while.
Barbara, you take him home, because I don't want him. I don't want him waking up, in the middle of the night, and I'm trying to get some sleep. Middle of the night being like fucking 12 in the afternoon, but I don't want him fucking waking up screaming, waking me. I got shit to do the next night. So here, you can leave him here. When your dad gets home and wonders why there's this, just tell him I left my boy here, and it's not fucking weird, and he'll know what to do. He's a police officer. He gets it. Remember, like, when he comforted a young boy by putting a jacket around him and so on? He can do that again, right?
He's got I bet he's got a lot of jackets in that fucking closet by this point.
Every boy needs a jacket, I guess. Wait, maybe it's one of those ones. Is it a murdered family and the child survived? Yep. Let me go get my new orphan jacket. Like, he didn't turn around after he put that jacket on Bruce. He didn't turn around to see the jacket said orphan. Just like on the back, like it's a fucking club jacket or something.
Like it's a jersey.
Like it's like one of those ones like, hey, you get a membership card too. Come join the fucking crew. We meet down at the Elks Lodge on Sunday. Or maybe he only gives it out to the rich kids because the rich kids have money that makes it that I will eventually donate to the police department. Maybe that's what it is. Because, I mean, why would you give it to a poor kid? You know what I mean? Like, shit. He's just going to probably turn into a sled or something like that, But a rich kid, he'll think it's awesome, and then he'll chuck it out the window on the drive home because he's got better jackets than that. But
he'll enjoy it for a minute. Or like some kid trying to make a fucking parachute out of it. Just like holds the two like sleeves. Says, I want to be like Sheik from Legend. I'm going to be like Link from Legend of Zelda.
And then one kid just puts like the fucking sleeve on his head, like, look at me, I'm just like Link, but stupid. And it's like, oh Jesus Christ! No, give me the jacket back. You don't fucking deserve it.
Just like you don't deserve parents.
Yeah, exactly. You have parents? Well, you don't get the fucking orphan jacket. Get the fuck out of here. And then as Batman fucking leaves Jason at, like, Barbara's, it's like, Jason wakes up in the middle of the night, it's like, or whenever the fuck time it is. And he's looking around there, he's like, oh shit, Barbara keeps all her shit in it? Like, it was like a fucking small apartment that she shares with her dad. Like, you got enough space in here for a fucking wheelchair and, like, recovery books and fucking calendars that are all crossed off. And then when Barbara comes in, she's like, oh, you're just sleeping in my bed, I guess. Oh, well, that's not fucking weird, but, yeah, I keep the stuff. It's like a reminder. It's like, really? Like, I don't keep anything except for this red hood. I guess that reminds me every time I look in a mirror.
Oh, yeah, you should probably find other memories than the one about you getting beaten to death and his old ego.
Yeah, well, yeah, it sounds like a good idea. And then they have this one kind of...
Let's make out first.
Yeah, they have this, like they have a kiss mode, which... This sounds weird. This sounds like one of those other ones that I find, like, to me it's a little bit strange, because... I mean, granted, by the way that their age is now because of, fucking Ra's al Ghul magic and so on, they're about the same. But to me, I see it as like, she just kissed that 12-year-old boy. Because think about it, like, okay, if we got 80s Batman, Batgirl's like, what, like 25 plus by that point? He's 12 years old? Like, is that, I mean, I guess that's not... Once you get kind of older in life, I guess it's not that different. But that's all I thought about when I saw it. Like, oh, she's like some fucking young. I see.
Well, I feel like it's weird because I feel like Barbara Gordon was always like somewhere between 18 to 25, and while like Dick Grayson may have aged a little bit here and there, and so did Tim Drake, Barbara's always basically stayed the same age.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is kind of true. She's sort of locked in there. In my mind, I always sort of picture her, whatever age Dick is, I just picture them like the exact same. Like, almost like they're the same grade. Like, that's exactly how they are. So, like, and I know that time goes forward, goes backwards, goes forward, gets compressed, and so on. But I was like, am I kind of like my Batman, like my solid kind of timeline? I look at, if Batman's about like 007 age, if somewhere in like his kind of mid 40s, maybe almost early 50s. I always look at Dick. By about this point, once he's past the college years and so on, he's like almost 30, maybe 30. So Barbara will be about that. Of course, Jason here just fucking skipped ahead, like he was in the Terminator or something like that.
Well, the thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that, like, went from age 12 to 25 or what have you.
Well, I guess that's what I was going to say. Like, for Tim Drake, he started off as the Gee Willikers and eventually became, like, he's now in his, like, mid-20s or something. And Robin's almost in the place of the kid. Well, Damian's almost in place of Robin now. So it's like this weird, like, this back and forth thing to go back on that. So I guess right now I'm thinking, this Barbara is probably in her late 20s. But I'm used to, right now in the comics, thinking of her as, like, Burnside Batgirl,
Oh, yeah.
Like, definitely 22 at the oldest, or maybe 23.
Yeah, probably not even that old. She's in college. Yeah, it's well. Then you get like New 52 one, which just made it feel like Batman got a new partner like every fucking year. They're like, this all happened in 5 years, but he had fucking 7 Robins. What?
Yeah, it does kind of happen that way sometimes.
Don't worry, we didn't change Green Lantern at all. Well, that wasn't even my question, but okay.
Yes, how many rounds? Okay, how many rounds? All right, we'll go with that. And then Batman's double checking the files here, and he has missing criminals, and he just has one blatantly labeled, like the criminal, and it's a little bit more of kind of like old 1940s. Listen here, Shay, firing. He says the clown, and that's meant to be. I honestly, I don't think there's a big difference between the comedian and the clown Joker. I guess the thing with the clown Joker is he's the one that he's like, I guess, kind of like almost Neil Adams kind of Batman and back, like he'd throw razor cards, have the smiling fish, that kind of shit,
Yeah, well, because I feel it's like that's sort of like the gimmicky Joker, the one who uses all the gags and all that kind of stuff. While the criminal one is more just like the serial killer. Like it's not funny, it's just brutal. And then you kind of had I guess the comedian one's kind of the confusing one. It's more just like that was just sort of like, oh, it's just sort of like the other Joker. Well, he kind of has a mixed match. He's kind of funny, kind of has gags, wears the Hawaiian shirt. I don't know, he's fucking dead now.
Basically, I guess you could just call him Walking Phoenix Joker is basically what the comedian's supposed to be.
Yeah, just almost even like a better version, like the non-retarded version.
Well, I guess I say that, yeah, but I guess I say that just because, that's what he's meant to be inspired by. Not this Joker, but that particular Joker, kind of with his own little, weird twist. But, because it was the very beginning of this issue. Because first, I'm like, okay, so his thing is he has a little bit of gimmicks. His thing is he uses crowbars. But they're basically the same personality. They almost act entirely the same. And then you see the beginning of this issue where it's like in his head he's imagining his family scared of him. But then among the Jokers, just from that one exchange, it seems like he's kind of the fuck up. And since he is kind of, they all got knocked into that acid one way or another, or something happened. But it was really it's really his whole thing is based on failure, the comedian Joker.
Yeah. Just I guess the different ways they sort of all got to being Jokers and what have you. And
I guess we're going to learn the clown one probably the next issue.
Yeah, because Batman turns and looks at his globe and he's like, Alaska.
The criminal.
I fucking knew it. Alaska, the source of all clowns.
They have the clown college out there, don't they? Right next to the bobsled racing college.
I now know why they didn't want to become a state in the 50s. It's all coming together.
I remember why I voted against it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want no Hawaii or Alaska. If it ain't connected to America, it ain't America. But shit, just go make Guam and Puerto Rico a state next to it if you're gonna be doing that. Doo-ba-doo-doo-doo. So Batman's it sounds kind of cool though. Batman going to Alaska anyways. I hope that's what the next one involves at least some of, because that just sounds like a cool concept. I'm like, I can't even think. Can you think of a Batman comic? He probably just went to Alaska at some point, but I can't think of any off my head at all.
I can think of one where I think Green Arrow went out to Alaska to fight some Russian mob dealers or something like that. Batman, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think Batman. But I think that would be cool. It's also I always like when we leave Gotham City and it's going somewhere we don't really expect. One of my favorite Scott Snyder ones was in the first Batman All Stars, where it's kind of like an old school Western where he has Two-Face on a chain and he's like a sheriff take him into town, but he's got a lot of middle America he has to get through with a bounty on his head.
Oh, yeah, that was a great Batman book. I kind of forgot about that one until you just brought it up.
Yeah, I think that's one of the Scott Snyder books people always overlook.
Yeah, and that was a fantastic one.
And Duke comes and helps him out at some point.
Yeah. Duke was another great character too. I just feel like he got kind of put to the side. He's like, okay, we got too many Robins. Duke, Tim, you guys, I don't know, find a wacky adventure to go on. I'm sorry, but got to keep the main Robins.
I gotta see. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I think he has his own solo book. I don't know if it's a miniseries or if it's still going on. Hopefully it didn't. Hopefully it wasn't one of the ones that got cut. But there's Batman and the Signal, which I need to read because that's by Scott Snyder. Because his name is the Signal now, and his whole thing is he functions differently than the rest of them, and he also fights during the day too.
Yeah, I remember because he had sort of those different kind of things. going on. But yeah, just sort of felt as far as main Batman stories kind of went, it felt like he was kind of there, and then it's kind of like he got kind of put on the sideline. Same with like Tim Drake, because I just feel like you never see fucking Tim Drake very often either, unless I guess you're in like a specific book that has Tim Drake maybe in it.
They were all in City of Bane by Tom King, which I think is his last Batman arc, I think.
Oh, okay.
But they were all in there. They weren't there for the main part. They're there more supporting characters. Like the whole Bat family shows up for a scene. So I was glad to see everybody there, not just like Damian, Dick, and Barbara, and then like everyone else is in the far corner. Like, we're kind of here sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes we get invited to Thanksgiving. Sometimes. But the way this thing all kind of ends is that fucking, I guess you would say, Comedian Joker? Wait, no. Comedian Joker's the one that died.
Yeah, this is Comedian
Joker. Oh, yeah,
Comedian
Joker.
Clown Joker died.
Clown Joker died. Comedian Joker's got Joe Chill fucking captured in the back of a van, and he's, got a video camera up on him going like, hey, so are you going to explain how you really killed Thomas and Martha Wayne?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's also like the last Batman Black Label book, it goes around to Joe Chill shit again.
Yeah, so it brings that guy, and Joe Chill's just kind of like, oh shit, old Joe was just out one day, just down on his luck, and he saw some rich people, and he thought, well, maybe it's... I just had one fucking bad day, and I've been in jail ever since. It was between that or sucking a dick on the street, and I chose, to rob the rich person, leaving Zorro. I wish I would have sucked that dick.
The only thing I have left is this paperboy hat I got back in 1923.
Yeah, exactly.
I was at one point a member of the Little Rascals, but I got kicked out the second day. It was because of that dirty fuck Alfalfa. If I ever take my hat off, my hair sticks up like his. People can confuse me for that piece of shit.
Now I just gotta live with the fucking guilt. Oh.
The most I got from that franchise since then was a cameo in the 90s remake. I'm one of the old businessmen you see walking by. You like it, Sound of Music? The lady that actually lived through that shit? Oh, she's one of the nuns walking in the background.
Yeah, no, I didn't get to the scene with Donald Trump. Why does everybody always ask me that question? And no, I've never seen Whoopi Goldberg naked. Why is that another question that gets brought up a lot, too?
Anyway,
you want to know why I killed him? I don't know. I fucking hate Zorro. There.
I was in a murder rage. I was thinking about how I got kicked off Little Rascals, and sure enough, I saw some rich people. I also do for now.
So we'll figure out what happens in part 3. And I'm assuming
saw that kid. He looked cold. Like, he needs an orphan jacket.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I hear they give them out when your parents die.
I was about to get my jacket. Fuck it, I'm broke.
Yeah, but I knew he would get a jacket, so I thought killing his parents was worth it for the jacket. You know what I mean? Because you can't just go buy one of those jackets, You got to earn it.
just like I'm about to earn those pearls.
Oh shit, they split all over the floor. How am I supposed to pick that up now? Oh, they're going down the drain. Now the fucking Ninja Turtles have them. Oh, fuck.
I think about, like, the parents murdering scene, and, like, I've seen the 89 Batman movie a lot of times, but for some reason, like, once and every few times I do watch it, I'll think that's the opening and where his parents get shot. And they're like, oh, right, no, that flashback comes later.
Oh, yeah. You mean
it's just some random family. You're like, oh, man, they're going to get shot up right here. And then, like, oh, no. He doesn't give them their shit back, but he beats the shit out of the criminals.
Yeah, well, those kind of things and so on. But, all in all, in this book, though, like, I really hope that they don't flub it up, though. I really hope that, like, they fucking keep it going, because these first 2 books have been super solid. I mean, like, top tier of the top tier type Batman books. Like, this is almost like a perfect example of, like, a book that you could pass to somebody who's, like, just getting into comics. You know what I mean? And be like, hey, check this one out. If you don't like it, then, well, I guess it's a good place to stop at, too.
I feel like, yeah, even though there is all this history behind it, I think a lot of history is brought up quickly. You know what I mean? And some of the history to it, it's more of like references for fans. Like, you don't need to know at the beginning in his fantasy that that's the lady from the Killing Joke, or you don't need to know that the clown Batman is more of like 70s style, 60s style kind of like campiness Batman.
No, because I feel like it's one of those ones, like, because the main characters is Batman and Batgirl and the Joker, and everybody pretty much knows those characters anyways. You know, Red Hood just kind of being like, I feel like you would
He's a Robin, right? No, call him a Robin.
Yeah, you would figure that out kind of as reading it. Like, I do feel like this is one of those books that if you just had a basic, like, movie Batman knowledge, you could still, like, figure out all their stuff. Yeah, it goes deeper, but it's almost like one of those ones, like, it's not like one of those stories that's so deep that, like, someone would get lost in it and be like, I have no idea what's going on. It's like, I feel like it is a good, like, showcase Batman book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it is a... Every so often, I mean, granted, that book's probably going to be longer than this one, but every so often you get those Batman books that are good sampler platters. Like, there are those ones that are like...
It's like Hush. This is always a good one, I feel, that you can...
A sampler platter. That's a perfect... I think two perfect examples, both by Jeff Loeb, even though both books are pretty long on their whole arcs. I think a good sampler platter would be like Batman Hush, because that's a lot of his main villains. You get a little bit of history, but at the same time, we also get you get like enough exposition quickly to kind of get the idea, and you're able to move on with a streamlined story. Or like Long Halloween is another one where it's like, okay, you get like most of his major villains, and not only that, you get the origin of Two-Face too.
Yeah, like both those books, it's like they're like the gateway Batman books of gateway ones. But I think this one can kind of almost go in there too, and it's like almost like you'd be sold on Batman pretty darn well after like these titles. So as I said, I hope the next one is fucking. They're just gonna knock it out of the park. They're gonna kill it on it. They're literally gonna go Killing Joke on it.
Yeah, I hope that too, because I really like where this one's going. The first one I liked, and I was already curious. Like, all right, we're already here. Let's see what this sounds like a dumb idea, but dumber idea has been made and turned out good, so let's see how this is. And like, oh, this is good. I like this. And then the second one, really good, very good. I just hope. I mean, they're still one of my favorite comic book teams ever, and I like other stuff they've been doing lately. But I just hope they don't pull Last Night on Earth, where they just get to this wacky ass ending. And the thing is, I was flipping through that again. It's not even like the ending is. It's not even like everything else about that issue sucks. It's just like the last like 15 pages, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's just one of those ones. It's not. Yeah, it's not like it's the worst thing, but it's just that kind of like, well, that's, okay. I guess that's. Yeah, well, yeah. It's sort of like that, like lackluster, I guess you would say, ending when it's supposed to feel like a very solid end to like the Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo run. So I don't know. Maybe give it another read. You never know. Sometimes that's the thing is you go back and sort of read something again, and once you kind of know what's going to happen, you're kind of like, oh, okay. You know, I know what's happening. I might like it a little bit more. You know, you never know.
Yeah. Where the fuck's that last? What's the fuck's that Frank Miller book that came out around the same time?
Yeah,
that Golden Child.
Yeah, that because that one I was going along with that too. Shit, I got to reread Golden Child #1 to remember what the hell even happened. You know, it's like one of those ones been that long.
Batman wasn't even in it. It was like Superman's daughter with Wonder Woman, Carrie Kelly, and then Superman's son Jonathan, who looks like he's like Damien from the fucking Omen, and the kid doesn't just kind of stands there like in like a little Akira, like literally across between Akira and like what was the example I said a second ago? Omen,
yeah,
just like a cross between those two, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely hope that one comes back out because I don't care. Like I like anything Frank Miller when it comes to Batman stuff. It's just like I'm sold. Even if it's fucking weird and goofy, it's like I know it's going to be very interesting. I think that's the key thing. Frank always has an interesting book. You know,
what's his Superman book? The whole book's about Batman, Superman, just on a whole year-long pussy hunt, really.
Yeah, exactly. Like oh, I wasn't expecting that, but sure, that sounds good. I'm sold. I'm there. But
yeah, sorry, go ahead. I keep cutting you off. My bad.
Oh no, I don't have anything that exciting to say. I was just kind of tailing into that and whatnot, and just kind of final thoughts on all those good things.
Yeah, just hope it comes out good. I hope I really like where it's going.
But yeah, more fun stuff to be kind of coming up, and all. There's just been a good time for Batman right now, or at least maybe it just kind of happened that way. But beyond all that, go to oldmanorange.com for more podcasts, comic books like Pizza Boyz, classic drunk Batman animations if you always kind of wonder what the hell that's all about, and even live action videos too if you want to be even more bizarre. But go check out that fun stuff at oldmanorange.com. Until then, I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm Ryan Dunnigan.
We'll see you some other time.
Later, folks.
Thanks again for listening to the Old Man Orange Podcast. Sure, check out oldmanorange.com for more podcasts, cartoons, music, animation, and a whole lot more. We also have the Old Man Orange blog going with all kinds of fun stuff. If you easily want to support the show, use one of our Amazon links either on the website or in the description of the podcast below. Rate, review, and subscribe to the show either on Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Newgrounds, or anywhere else that you seem to get this podcast from. Grab the sitcom-styled comic book Pizza Boyz on either Comics Central, Comixology, or Amazon. Want more podcasts? Check out the Indie Comics Club over at Comics Central. I also got a workout website called Thor's Hidden Gym, filled with fitness tips and tricks, videos, and a whole lot more fun stuff in the calisthenics world. Talk to us on Twitter at Spencer S. Holmes and Dunnigan Ryan. Like our Facebook pages of Old Man Orange Productions and Pizza Boyz Comic. Thanks again, we're out of here.